And then I was like, okay, well then come home. But then he was going to go back out with a guy that he met. And I'm like, this is bullshit. I mean, in my head at the time, I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, but I never came. So what happened, I was out. I had already met, our homie, like, I want to say them, but I already met them. And I was going out to meet them. But they was, I think, at a restaurant or whatever. And then that's when them ladies was around on the resort. And they was like, they tried to holler at me.
What's up, guys? It's Ayana Niles, and we got another episode of Couples Unscripted. Today we are going to be talking about traveling.
And we are here to talk about vacationing with your partner and not really the do's and don'ts of vacationing, but just the importance of taking vacations and things that we did on some of our travels in the States and also outside the States.
I will say thank you for filling up my glass of wine. I am a red wine drinker. So cheers.
Cheers.
Yes. So yeah, I might be, drinking some wine. Lots of wine during these episodes.
Got to get a little loose out here, just to
gotta get a little...
keep the flow going. So, kickstart things and get things going. What would be, out of all the vacations we have had in the States, the United States, and also abroad, which one ranks number one to you?
Let's see. I think we've had some killer experiences traveling. Mm-hmm. So me and him always have a good time, regardless of where we're going to be. Listen, we're going to be lit. We're going to be drunk. We're going to be making some friends.
Going to make some
friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to make some friends. So I think our first trip was Jamaica. That was our honeymoon.
That was my first international trip was Jamaica. So that's the first time I got a passport. First time I got a stamp.
Yeah. So, I mean, traveling, of course, domestically. But for me, when I hear travel, like, I'm going out of the States.
Jet setter.
So to answer Niles' question, I feel like Belize. And when we went to Belize, it was such a freeing experience because we chose the route that was not all inclusive. We had booked a hostel and then we booked a condo. So it was a beautiful experience and it was so freeing, but I think the country is freeing in itself as well. So if you do go to Belize, which is definitely in our top, it is very freeing and you don't need an all-inclusive. So there are countries where you need all-inclusives and there are countries where you don't need all-inclusives. And I don't think that that was the country that you needed to have an all-inclusive. We enjoyed it. I think that we saved a bunch by not going to an all-inclusive, but it depends on the country as well. We had a killer time.
Yeah, I would say for me, Belize is the number one out of all of our international trips. Mm-hmm. Actually, all of our trips, even domestically and internationally. Belize was the top trip, and it holds just a fondness over my heart. Like you said, we didn't do all inclusive, and it just felt refreshing. It was an amazing experience. The people there was amazing and beautiful. Hopkins, Belize. If you haven't been to Belize, go to Hopkins. That is the place to be. I saw people that looked like my aunties, my uncles, my cousins. I saw someone that looked like me. I was like, is that my twin, my doppelganger? Like, it was an amazing experience. And we was able to really like touch the ground, touch the earth, and connect with the people and get a lot of great connections that I believe still kind of hold true still to this day, 2.5, 3 years later. Mm-hmm. So it was definitely an amazing experience for me. Jamaica was awesome too, but it was due to our honeymoon. So like it was a combination of the experience, but Jamaica was awesome. That was an all-inclusive. So we stayed on the resort, but we did get off the resort. Everywhere we traveled internationally, when we did stay on a resort, we still managed to get off the resort and kind of do our own thing with the locals. So that was always important for us to kind of, if we're going to go in an all-inclusive, which is needed because the R&R is great when you ain't got to do nothing, lift your finger. But there is something to getting off the resort and just just getting with the people within the countries that you visit. How should someone go about planning to travel with a significant other? Non-honeymoon, just a regular, like, hey, we want to pick a date on the map, on the calendar, and then go. Like, no extra missing, no the birthday, nothing special, just
Right.
going on a vacation.
I definitely think, I mean, it depends on the type of people. Like, either you're going to plan, like somebody's got to plan. You know, there's always going to be somebody who's going to be the planner, and then somebody who is going to go with the plans. I am the planner. Niles is going to go with the plans. So,
Going to flow.
so yeah, I think obviously there has to be somebody who's the planner, and then go from there and build, create a budget and figure out what the budget's going to be. Because I know when we went to Belize, we didn't plan any excursions. We just kind of saw where things would take you. I think when we went to the DR, we kind of did the same thing. Like, we stayed at an all-inclusive, and then we were like, what are we going to do? So either you can plan that ahead, but I think the most important is getting those flights and getting where you're going to stay.
Yeah. Getting a flight early or when there's a good price is probably one of the most important things to do when it comes to traveling. Because once you kind of get the flight, you feel like, yo, I have to go. So getting those flights, especially when you get a deal, it really kind of keeps you like on track to make sure you make that trip, from my vantage point. So yeah, I definitely believe the planner, which is you, it's important for the planner to have certain things in order and hit those benchmark to ensure that, like, we're going on this trip. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. And specifically for the hostel, because we know we stayed in a hostel. Like,
Right.
So how was the hostel experience for you and for the people who may have some skepticism in regards to staying in a hostel? And
Right.
it may be a little, because you watch the movie Hostel and think, oh, I stay in a hostel, they're going to snatch me up. Like, that's not the experience. So how was the hostel experience for you? And how, and I guess, sell it to other people who may be afraid of doing a hostel
I
route.
will say that the person who introduced me to hostels is my bestie from Portugal, and you know who you are. Rita, my love.
We love you, Rita.
And not even specifically hostels, but she kind of introduced this play on, or just the reality of like traveling, but just travel. Like, don't get so caught up in the glamour of traveling and just to enjoy the country. And sometimes I got so caught up in like the glamour and like, and looking cute and getting dressed up. And hey, we love that. I'm not taking away from any of the baddies out there who want to make sure they look real nice, real cute, and go out, you know, in their all-inclusive, which I want to do. But I think that there's beauty on the other side. And I think you can do both because I've done both.
Yeah.
So I think when I met her and when she was telling me like, oh, she's traveled the world and she's been here and she's been there, I'm like, how the frick are you doing this with like going to these like beautiful resorts? Like, I'm not going to these resorts. I'm staying in a hostel. So when I studied abroad, I did like stay in some hostels. So I do think like, don't sleep on the hostels, because hostels, you can have private rooms. And we had a private room with a private bathroom. So there are specific experiences. Yes, hostels are not going to have air conditioning. You had to pay additional for that.
We didn't.
And we didn't. And because there was so much airflow, we didn't have to. Yeah. And yeah, you're not going to have some of the luxury and like all this other stuff, but like, it's a humbling experience. It's beautiful. And that hostel, it was Crash Pad in Belize. So I highly recommend it. So I think check into the hostels. We also stayed into a condo. So we were in Hopkins, and then we moved to Placencia, and we were in a condo. So that condo was just a little bit more elevated to the hostel. It was beautiful, and we had like a pool set up, and you know, it was really nice. We had a restaurant next door. So look at your different options, all inclusive, condo, hostel, hotel, compare prices. If price is not an issue for you and you want to live luxury, baby, live luxury all day, every day. Live it. But there is something about the humbleness of being in a hostel or in a condo or something where you can kind of like get a taxi and like find your own means of transportation. Like, it's fun.
Yeah, because like in Belize, the main thing we did there was like really come one with, it felt like the Belizean people in the area that we were around. We was riding Yo, Ayana is a trooper. We was riding our bikes to the store, riding our bikes down to the village. We was on it, backpacking. It was really a liberating feeling by traveling like that and experiencing a vacation in that sense. And on the flip side, like Jamaica, the all inclusive, we went with the mindset like, yo,
We was gonna chill the fuck out.
period.
Period.
Period. It was a long build up from you graduating,
Yeah.
us getting married, us moving to Atlanta. So when we got to our honeymoon, it was like we need some R&R, and it was an amazing experience. We met a lot of great couples in Jamaica. It was
we did.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. We got to mingle and interact. So the all inclusive resort, do have a lot of great things that go into it, and of course you pay a little bit extra, but you get a return on it by being able to get everything that you need, quote unquote, at that resort. And so that was a great experience as well. I do like them both. I think it depends on the country that you go to in regards to how you really want to experience. Because I am aware that not every country I would want to go and probably like really ingratiate myself within that country. And there may be other countries where I feel more comfortable doing that. And there may be places that are like, yo, I just want to go all inclusive and not have to worry about a darn thing.
I was gonna say, like, what hurdles, because sometimes like you were with your partner all the time and there can be some like things that you guys are on vacation, right? You're there to have a good time, but there are like little obstacles within this damn vacation that it's like we might not be communicating properly, or like maybe you want to go over and you found these friends and you want to hang out with, and then I want to go back to the house. So like, how do you handle those like not communications, but like those obstacles with like, I want to do something else and you don't want to do, but we still want to be together, but you want to do something else and I don't want to do that.
Like the DR, I think you end up getting a little tired at one point in time during the vacation, and you went and crashed. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go out, hang on a resort, and I end up mingling and meeting some great people that I'm still in contact with today. It's a give and take, because yes, I do want to spend the time with you, and but I also want to enjoy and experience the vacation. I believe the best way to go about it is both parties have to be understanding that we are on vacation. Mm-hmm. We are here to disconnect and to experience something new. So it do have to be a give and take. I do believe that you were accepting of like, hey babe, I'm tired. I really can't do it. Just go out, but come back at a decent time. Like, fellas, if you out, don't come back into the room at 2:00 in the morning. Like, sorry, not sorry. Even though I think I came back in the room at like 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I did, and he pissed me off. Then my next question was like, can you make friends when you guys said that you guys are going on the vacation together? Or is it okay to make friends on that vacation, knowing that if you make friends, then you're taking that time away from your partner?
So I think with us, whenever we go on our vacations, we don't go for 2 or 3 days. We're going for 7 days minimum. So we there for so long. So me making friends don't really take away from our experience together. We already had things planned that we're going to do. We already had reservation booked for the restaurants we were going to go eat. We had plans to get off the resort and like on DR to visit other cities around the resort. So those are already pre-planned. So I felt as if me, or if it was you, meeting new friends there at the resort, all it can do is enhance the experience, because we're going to have our time together. We're going to be locked in together. But someone with some dope energy can come around, and if they bring different conversation, if they are in a relationship as well, so it may be I can connect with the man and you can connect with the lady, and it can just makes for a better experience. So I do believe it very depending on the situation and y'all relationship and how y'all feel. Because sometimes if you go on vacation, some people go on vacation to reconnect, to kind of like recenter and stuff. So if that's the case, Don't be trying to make no friends.
And I will say, like, I would consider myself an extrovert at times, introvert sometimes. I'm gonna say a little toss between the two.
Yeah.
So when he went out, it actually kind of pissed me off because I was sleepy and I wanted to sleep and I was waiting for him to get back, but then he didn't come back. And then, like, you did call me to check in, but you didn't. Did you come back and then you left?
No, I didn't.
No. You just called me and told me, like, oh yeah, these girls were hitting on me, like,
yes,
yeah, because some of these bitches was hitting on him.
Yeah, they was.
And then he told me about it, and then I was like, okay, well then come home. But then he was gonna go back out with a guy that he met, and I'm like, this is bullshit. I mean, in my head at the time, I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, but I never came. So what happened? I was out. I had already met, our homie. Like, I want to say them, but I already met them. And I was going out to meet them, but they was, I think, at a restaurant or whatever. And then that's when them ladies was around on the resort, and they was like, they tried to holler at me, and I don't want that. I got, and I called you,
right?
And I like, yo, well,
he did call me.
I can't find the homies, who we both had connected with earlier that day. I said, I can't find them. I said, I think I'm gonna head back. And in the midst of starting to head back, lo and behold, there they are. And they were like, well, what's up? So we went and got some more. We just continued to hang out, have conversations and all that. So I was expecting just to have like maybe a 15, 30-minute conversation. And that thing turned to like an hour and 15. And I was like, oh, shit, I need to go back. So that's how that kind of transpired. But yeah, as soon as that happened, though, with those ladies, I definitely called my wife real quick and was like, yo, FYI, you would never believe what just happened to me.
I know. I was like, who? 2 girls wanted to do what? They were trying to take him home.
They were trying to take me home.
Wherever it was. But they was going to get a rude awakening in that hotel room because I was in there. But I think there was a point where I was kind of like, why isn't he with me in the room? We could be on the balcony. We could be chilling. We could be laid up. We could be cuddling. But he's out. I actually did get pissed and like, you were out with whomever. And then when I woke up and I was like, oh no, I'm really happy that he was able to get out and talk to some people. And I think sometimes you have to take yourself out of the equation because in that moment I said, I'm pissed off. He's like, I remember telling to myself, I said, we are not here to make friends. We are here to connect and be together. And like, I was like, we are not here for that.
But that's actually not true because.
But I understood that. Like, I know, like, you now and you making friends here and like you just having a circle. I was like, I felt like, wow, that's nice for him to put himself out there because it's something different for you. And
it's something that she actually want me to do more here at home is to put myself out there and connect more and make more friends. So what I actually did, I took that experience and I've been applying it now here to like, all right, Niles, I am, like you said, I'm an extrovert, introvert. I'm kind of like you, but getting married and living together and moving to a whole new state and city, I became more of an introvert. That last vacation really helped me kind of get back out my shell and be more of my personality of like, yo, I'm great at mingling with people. I'm great at making connections. So it did feel really liberating just to be able to connect with multiple people across all age range, across all ethnic backgrounds from different countries, and to be like, yo, yeah, I'm a cool person. People like me. Like, some people love me. They was looking for me the next 4 days. So it was definitely cool. But I am definitely mindful though when I go on trips. It's all about her. Like, she is the focal point. That's like, and I do use our vacations and our trips as a moment to recenter and reconnect with my wife. It's not really for those other experiences. Those other experiences are an added benefit and a plus. Mm-hmm. The main thing that I want to get out of my vacations and my travels with you is our experiences and us growing and connecting and enjoying it together. But I think we do have a beautiful relationship where we do give each other the freedom and the bandwidth to connect with other people and to grow respectively.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for me, like I'm good on meeting people out. Like I'm good. Listen, for my job, I'm always meeting people. So when I go on vacation, we can mingle and mix, but like I'm good.
Yeah.
So I let Niles have it. And usually Niles, it's so funny because I'm a very like social person.
You are.
And so, and I'm sure ladies or the guys, like when you're being social, when you're in the place where you live or you're in the city where you're at and you can be very social with people. But once you vacation, I leave it to him. Like I know that there's a partner that's like, that's all that person. Like either she or he or whomever, they deal with that because he deals with the taxi drivers. He deals with the conversation. Like you get the party favors if we're going to go there.
That is the one.
I can't handle it, you know? And I feel like you use your street smarts to like deal with that shit. And I'm out. Yeah. I'm done. Like I'm good. But I was using my Spanish though because I do know a little Spanish.
Very good.
So I was using my Spanish, which was really fun.
Yeah. They were loving that in the DR. Whenever she started speaking her Spanish, and they was like, and then they tried to talk to me, and they were like, "Yeah, get out of here," you know. But they was eating her up like, oh my goodness. So that was actually that was probably one of the highlights of the trip was when you were speaking to them in their native tongue and y'all was connecting and vibing and seeing how they reacted once you started speaking and their whole demeanor changed. And honestly, it made me realize like, yo, I did myself a disservice by not actually being better in Spanish because I love how they appreciate the fact that you know the Spanish that you do know, and it was definitely awesome. But yeah, when we out and about, I am the one that I can get the party favors. I can find the things, and it don't take me long. Like they connect, and I don't get swindled or hustle, like because I don't play that. Like I'm a hustler, so you ain't about to get over on me, buddy. But there's also the beauty of having this wife here because she is a negotiator.
I will negotiate with you, and I will make sure we get a good price.
Fellas.
Period.
It is amazing to have a wife or a significant other on your side who is like stern because in those other countries, they appreciate, they be like, oh, she called the shots. Yep. And they don't argue with that. They do not argue with that. If I be like, it's her decision, it's no more negotiation.
Right.
They don't raise they lower their price when I say she makes the final decision. I love it. I love it.
I mean, you know, women are the boss. Ladies, we know we are the boss, though. We are the boss. Do we have time to get into our travel club?
Yes, let's go ahead.
So, okay, this is a lot to take in because it was the bulk of our trip that was very emotional for me. So, people, when you guys are out on these all-inclusives, some all-inclusives have it, some don't. Some have like the privilege section and specific clubs that you can be in, like a premium club and like the privilege. So we were kind of bamboozled when we got to the airport, when we checked in, and then we went into like we're about to go into transportation, like we're about to get our taxi, and then they were saying like, oh, you know,
we'll take you there.
We'll take you there, but like if you want some excursions, and we really wanted to go to this island, Sawana Island. So I was like, okay, cool. And so they had a deal, and you know me, I love deals. I will negotiate with you. I love deals. So I was like, okay, great. So the deal was really good. We got the excursion, and they're like, we're gonna pick you up from your hotel, and then you have to go to this other hotel. And I was like, oh, cool, bet, that's easy. And then we'll give it to you for a discounted price. I mean, the price was very discounted. Very. So I was like, okay, bet. So we get to the hotel. This guy's like, oh, do you have any excursions lined up? I was like, yeah, we do. We're going to Sawana Island. He's like, who'd you get that with? So I told him, he's like, oh no, that's another hotel competing. Long story short, they tried to sell you their premium club to be in like a travel club with Hard Rock. And so of course our hotel that we were at, our all-inclusive, is going to want to
Sell
us their premium travel package, which we ended up buying. Let's just keep it short. We did end up buying the premium travel club, but Niles, if you want to say anything to that, it was very stressful, but we went through a process where we had talked to a guy, we went through it and like we felt comfortable. So I think at the end of the day, like we do have a travel club with premium travel club with H10 hotels. So initially it like freaked me out for 2 days. Like, what the fuck did we just do?
Yeah, initially she was kind of with it, and then it hit her and she sat with it and she like, oh no. But then I was like, do we not plan on traveling outside the States again, hopefully within this year? Which the answer is yes. Our plan is to try to travel every year out the States if it's possible. If we could do it 2 times a year, we would. That's the ultimate goal. But work and everything. Now, when we went to our resort, we did end up getting their package, and I think it was a good deal. And I think it's something that we will definitely utilize because we have plans to travel outside the States as much as we can, and that's the beauty of like in a relationship. It's good to plan vacations. It's good to get out and have that time and to get away from your city, get away from your home, and get out your bubble and experience something new, and to continue to have experiences with your significant other. And I'm a firm believer you can't really put a price tag on experiences and memories when you look back 5 to 10 years later. You're like, damn, we went there, we did this, we did that. It's like, it's worth it. And I can honestly say every vacation, every trip that we have went on, it has always been worth it. And every time we got back from it, we've gotten closer, our love gotten stronger. And so it's very important to plan those trips with your significant other. Domestically, if you can't travel outside the States due to price tag or whatever, hey, take a 3-hour ride somewhere. We did a weekend getaway one time here in the States just to get out. Yeah. It's important just to switch, because we like, yo, let's sleep somewhere else for a weekend. So find those things to do with your partner.
Yeah, I mean locally for his birthday, we just went 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes down the street to Stone Mountain.
Yep, they had like a hot tub.
It was incredible. It was. I was like, this is what we should be doing. Like, it was a hot tub. Change of scenery. Change of scenery is really important.
Yes.
When it comes to relationships.
Yes.
Because if you're cooped up, especially if y'all shacked up, if y'all aren't shacked up, then you guys are not seeing each other all the time. But if you guys are shacked up and you guys live together, you need to change of scenery.
Facts.
Because you're going to get bored.
You're going to. So it's good to switch things
check
up.
Locally, Airbnb and whatever.
Find HomeAway, Airbnb, any of those platforms. I ain't trying to promote y'all, if y'all want me to promote you. But any of those platforms, check them out. A quick weekend getaway with your significant other, it goes a long way. Especially if you just surprise them like, hey, babe, we about to go here and do something different. I think it'll go a long way. Especially if you have someone that's a planner, they will let them plan it. They will love it. And for the people who aren't planners, by doing that and showing the initiative, trust me, it's kudos in the bank. They will not forget that gesture of you actually doing this, planning a trip, even if it's just a 2-day getaway. It can mean so much to your partner just to get out and have that one-on-one time with them in a different setting, in a different area where y'all can kind of just connect and have y'all time together.
That's it on traveling. I think get out, plan, save the money to travel, whether it is domestic or international. There are a lot of deals out there with international travel, and I know we didn't get too much into travel agents, but for me specifically, I don't use travel agents. I feel like you can get some deals if you do them on your own, and you can absolutely get deals with travel agents, but see your options,
yes.
See what works best for you and your budget, but have fun, plan, visit somewhere different with your partner, because we don't have children. So I think right now for us is really important is to travel and to get away and to connect and to bond. And so, yeah, get out, travel, and see the options that work best for you and have some good experiences.
It's very important to travel and do vacations with your significant other. So get those plans in this year. Get out, travel. And thank y'all for tuning in to Couples Unscripted. You can catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and all the other platforms.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. We thank you so much for tuning in and checking out our relationship show. And we will see you on the next episode.